Welcome to the Modern Way podcast, where we show you how to build a business and navigate the modern economy to build a life worth living.
So I was talking to somebody at a conference that I went to in the last couple of days, and they were having a lot of failure inside of their business, primarily within the ads. I started digging in. Their funnel had been converting great. They switched to another team, and the one thing that they said, which is the biggest thing, is like, our creative hasn't really been refreshed, but they said it wasn't necessary, and they're not really testing much of that. They're working on the copy and just a couple of copy headlines. And the truth is, right now, more than ever, ad fatigue is the number one thing that really messes up campaigns. And so if you're not doing a lot of creative testing and you're not really optimizing and focusing on creative, you've got to look at creative right now as part of the funnel. What's the angle? What's the influencer? What's the testimonial? What worked better? What's the thumbnail? And we wanted to give you guys some insights on how to really start thinking through that more than just like, oh, run an ad, set up this, because that's not going to work anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And so to kind of piggyback off what you had made a point on, the higher that you go up in the marketing ecosystem, it has the most leverage with the business, right? So if you're a business owner first and not like a social media savvy person, or maybe that's not necessarily your nature, understanding that media is the highest point of leverage, because if you get, for example, double the clicks through on the media, that doubles the flow of your business, right? And if you make those optimizations along the way, that's what allows you to obviously convert more through better media or more media, and getting outside of that ad fatigue kind of window that a lot of advertisers and even businesses face. And so some of the insights that we've really pulled in to find the analytics of what's working, what angles, what formats are working better, is by applying a nomenclature or a naming system. And while it is very, very long in the ad account itself, if you can look at a piece of video through the lens of it being modular, like you're baking a cake, like, hey, we used this flour, this egg, this frosting. I don't know the rest of the ingredients, but you get the point. If you actually break down like what the segments are, it is this hook, this is the concept that we're going for, this is the UGC that we're using, or this is the founder that we're using, or whatever it is. Is it a still frame? Is it a lifestyle shot? Like, the more granular you can get with what type of video was actually put in front of someone, and you name that, the better feedback you can get on what was working. And so we look at it through the lens of, obviously starts out with what the overall concept is, then goes to the hook, which is how do we catch the attention in the first 3 to 4 seconds. Then it goes into what type of format is it. Is it a podcasting format like this? Is it a UGC format? Is it an owner-founder video? Like, what is the actual format that we're testing? And then what is the script that the video actually has? So we have about 4 to 5 different parts of the naming convention, and that allows us to be able to determine what elements we want to look to modularize the video editing and cutting process to see what ad is working better. And if you're just starting out, this isn't really required. I would just say that if you're already spending $30, $40, $50, $60,000 a month on ads, like, this is what separates the 6-figure per month, and maybe even crossing, multiple 6 figures, like 200, 300,000, to the 7-figure per month levels, because they know what they're optimizing for and what was actually working. And every incremental dollar of spend matters at those levels of scale, because you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars per month. And so that's the big thing with getting media, is not only making the media and getting over that hump, but then tracking the effectiveness of what you're producing.
Yeah, one more thing to add to that is, if you start looking at it modular, you are probably going to want to also start looking at your social media content the same, because I see a lot of people just regurgitate what they see big people do. And I promise you, big people are scripting. They're doing production at mass. They have angles. They're chopping. They're re-chopping the videos. If you're just going to throw things, you're going to get no results, right? And so if you start looking at it like, what's the best angle, and through 5 videos, see that one of them got you 50,000 views, you want to create another couple of angles inside of that scenario. What was I wearing? What was I saying? What was the topic? And if you start looking at it like that, you can also start leveraging some of those videos as creative for your ads as well. So something to think about, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We will be back tomorrow with another episode of Quick Hits with Robin Los. All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.